told you I became extremely ill. This manifested itself in over 14 days of high fevers, delirium, night sweats. I had lesions on my chest and my face. I had extreme diarrhea. I had vomiting that could not be stopped with medication. I became exceedingly dehydrated, and I ultimately had to be hydrated with IV and saline injections.
And as you said, the last time you were in the hospital was when you were born.
Yes, I am a generally healthy person.
You're a marathon runner, whole 9 yards.
I have been a runner and a weightlifter. I am very careful in my diet. I'm a user of the InfoWars supplements. I have been treated with acupuncture by perhaps the greatest acupuncturist in the state of Florida, if not the United States, Dr. Quinn Martielli, who was trained in China. I am generally a healthy person. In the beginning, I thought I had a routine stomach virus, and this was, a pain in the neck, given my deadline on the book and the fact that my entire family was headed to Florida for Christmas.
And we even had to cancel one of our important meetings we were going to have in Florida.
Yes, indeed. So I ultimately went to the doctors at Mount Sinai Hospital in Miami Beach, my own personal physician. They conducted extensive blood tests. Those blood tests were passed on to CDC. The general consensus is that I was poisoned. I was poisoned with, they now say, a substance that may have been polonium or had the characteristics of polonium. This made me exceedingly ill. The conjecture of all the doctors was that I did not receive a large enough dose to kill me, but I have never been this ill. Now, who would want to do this to me? I am an enemy of the deep state. I think people know that. I was an insider in American politics. I was close to power in 9 presidential elections. Everything Glenn Greenwald says is true. The Republican, Democrat, Bush, Clinton, deep state has manufactured this Russian fraud. They have compounded it by taking a clearly fabricated document, a document that has traced to a political consulting firm, Fusion, which was pushing this, to a gentleman, Christopher Steele, who created this fabricated document.
And I mean, they're admitting that Jeb Bush was financing this, but also others. What's your intel on that?
I believe that this document was actually financed by Dan Senor, who is a neocon lackey of Mitt Romney. I believe that this piece of poison, this total falsehood about Donald Trump, was peddled to every reporter in the country.
Was this released as Romney's revenge?
I think this was Romney's revenge. And the irony of this, of course, Alex, is had Donald Trump selected Mitt Romney, Mr. Senor probably would have been the number 2 man at the State Department. Now, there is treachery. By the way, Senor was also implicated in the release of the Billy Bush NBC attack on Trump. Which,
by the way, I mean, I want to get into why they do this, the polonium, how big a deal this is. It was a sensation when it happened to Alexander Litvinenko. And then, of course, it started coming out even in the British news that it was probably a false flag by British intelligence to blame the Russians. Why would they poison this guy? Well, because he was a triple agent, and it was useful to then demonize Russia